You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB the CV. Copyright 2024. Proximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.
Everybody's a winner at the JCPenney Mystery Sale. Hurry in store Wednesday through Saturday for a coupon giveaway while they last. You can peel and reveal an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off. Use your coupon to enjoy even bigger savings on Easter apparel and spring fashion. So, how much will you save? JCPenney. Make everybody count. Offers valid on select styles 327 to 330. Exclusions apply. Giveaway in-store only. Must be 18 or older. See store or jcp.com for details.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
Today's episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is brought to you by Peloton.
We welcome all of our viewers on Max, and if you have Max and you're watching us right now, I encourage all of you to watch the docuseries Quiet on Set. It's a docuseries about some real tawdry stuff happening involving children and
fame
and
the dirty side of the business,
sex, as always, within Nickelodeon and Nickelodeon's kind of heyday years of all that and this
Amanda Show,
the Amanda Show, and
Drake and Josh.
Was it Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
It's Zoe 101.
Zoe
Sweet Life
101.
was Disney.
Oh, I'm sorry, iCarly. That's another one. So all of these shows were show run by this guy named Dan Schneider, and Dan Schneider, by all accounts, was a real piece of shit.
Was he a piece of shit on Head of the Class?
They talk about that. I did not.
That's how he got his start.
That's how he got his start. And Roy, I didn't know. I never put two and two together. I remember the fat guy on Head of the Class, and then I've seen like the Dan Schneider stuff in recent years. That people say Dan Schneider's an awful person, whatever. I never put two and two together. That's who he was.
Well, everybody noticed Robin Givens. They never noticed the fat guy. You know?
Is there a more vilified name than the name Dan Schneider?
Yeah. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds, man? Like,
People named
like
Dan.
just as a villain.
Right, just with the Washington Commanders.
Dan Schneider.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's got to be some Dan Schneiders out there like, oh, come on.
Catching a
I'm a
stray.
good guy. It's pronounced Schneider.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
No, I'm
Get him out of here.
Oh, come on, man.
Get him out of here.
I'm just
It's
trying.
a hat trick today, man.
Yeah, go quickly enough. You might come back. We're still talking about it. But the what was the Tony? Let me start with you. What was the most like damning thing that you saw in this?
It has to be the Brian Peck, Drake Bell.
It's insane
situation.
What happened? So
for those of you that haven't watched,
yeah.
Brian Peck was a acting coach,
Yep.
linguist coach that was on the set of a bunch of different Nickelodeon shows, and there were some red flags that were brought up about him throughout kind of the run, his tenure on shows, and then it really started with Drake's dad, who was his manager at the time. And he was like, hey, there's something up about this guy. Like, I don't know. He gives me a bad vibe. Like, he's just too involved with Drake.
Yeah.
I don't like this too much.
And too touchy.
Right.
And
Like
they tried to hide it with saying that he was gay, as if that was an excuse to like be overly touchy.
Right.
Wow. So when things start happening, he drives Brian Peck, the acting coach, kind of drives a wedge between Drake, his dad, his parents are divorced. So he starts talking to the mom and like, hey, the dad's not doing a good job for his career. He's taking money. He's doing whatever. So he drives that wedge, and then he basically steps in as, hey, I'll take Drake because he lives an hour away from the studio. Hey, I'll take him here. I'll take him there. We'll go to Disneyland. A lot of weird things start happening.
We'll run lines at my house.
Right. And Drake's dad was like, he told the mom, hey, under no circumstances Drake allowed to be with this guy by himself. Period. Full stop whatsoever. And I guess the mom not really present.
There was a tension also between them. Obviously, they were divorced, so there's a tension. So, like, they weren't on the best of terms, so she kind of, like, disregarded whatever the dad said. Because, again, the acting coach is telling her and telling everybody the dad's bad for the kid's career.
You gotta put your child ahead of all that pettiness, though.
But in her mind, she's already primed to not trust or believe the dad. So now here comes this person who works in the business who says, you care about your child, you care about your child's career. Well, this guy right here, the dad, he's messing it all up. And so anything he says is automatically taken as, oh man, you just salty because we're successful without you. And so I'm not going to give away the details.
He really doesn't go into detail either. This is the first time he's talked. Yes, but it's not the first time. It's the first time ever he's spoken about it publicly, about the assault, about all the things that happened to him. But he doesn't really go into detail of what happens, right? He just says, hey, whatever the worst things imaginable are, that's what I went through.
Which is enough.
Correct. There's actually been an addendum here because they're going to come out with a 5th episode where Drake's going to talk more about certain things or whatever, but it's another interview with Drake Bell.
So that was really bad. And again, this is on Max. It's called Quiet on the Set, right? You should all watch it for sure.
That's kind of like the subplot, though.
Yeah,
of the entire thing.
Yeah, because Dan Schneider created this atmosphere where it was cool for anyone to try anything. And when you say, oh, how does he do that? I'll give you another example. And I thought this was the most egregious one. There's a production assistant, right? And he's the guy that when the kids show up with their parents, he takes
Jason
the kids,
something? Is that what his name was?
He takes the kids to the green room, whatever. He takes the parents over here, and he keeps them company. And everyone's like, oh, what a nice guy, what a nice guy. And so one of the moms who's on the documentary says her daughter exchanges emails with the guy. Because it's like, oh, and he's telling them about this is what we're doing on the show. And it's like, it's a very kind of like
innocent
thing. And then one day, her daughter's crying, and like, what happened? So Jason emailed me, and he sent her basically dick pics. Not just dick pics, like
full body
of him
doing his thing,
rubbing it out.
Yeah,
bruh,
dog,
this made my skin boil.
No, Juju, that's not the worst part. Yeah. Listen to the worst part. So she gets worried about
she's also 9 years old.
Yeah,
that's I'm gonna put that out there. She's 9 years old.
The girl is 9 years old. Juju, listen to the worst part. So the mom thinks about should we report it and then doesn't report it. But then it happens with someone else and it comes out. And when they do the background check, this MFer is a multiple time offender sexual predator on the registered sexual offender list. And he was hired to work on a children's show.
One of multiple people on sexual offenders list.
They had more than one guy who was an RSO working at a children's network on a children's show. It's insane.
No background checks in that, huh?
Bro, you ruining kids' lives. You ruin this is so disgusting. Like, I'm not gonna say too much because this is beyond.
It's the worst. It's the worst of humanity. It is the worst of humanity. Someone who would do this to children. I'm trying to remember. Do one of y'all have a spouse who's a teacher? Nobody here. Okay. So in order to be a teacher, right? Public school, private school, no, you have to obviously do all the tests or whatever. But then they fingerprint you. They do background check. Like in order to be around children in a scenario where there is no privacy, like it's a very public thing, you got to do all of these background checks and fingerprinting, and you got to be in a database.
Coaching high school baseball. I coached high school baseball. Every year I had to go to the city, get fingerprinted, do another background check. Yeah, they're good about that stuff.
And this is for activities that happen within daylight hours, right? Within, again, in front of a bunch of other adults and other people. These people here were employed to work on a children's show at a children's network. And had already all this past stuff. By the way, the acting coach that Tony was talking about, so he gets caught. He goes to court. At sentencing, he has all of these people, Hollywood people, famous people, coming up and saying he's a good dude, don't give him too much. He's been through under a lot of stress. A lot of stress to sexually assault a child repeatedly, because it wasn't the one time. It wasn't twice. It was multiple times. The way it got out basically was Drake was dating some girl, and when he started dating the girl, he was staying at her house a lot. Like anything so I don't go over to that dude's house. And so the mom of the girl was like, hey man, what's like, because the dude started calling him and say, hey man, we're supposed to go to Disneyland. And Drake was like, yeah, I kind of got caught up. Yeah. I can't go today. And so the dude started blowing his phone up.
And the mom noticed?
The mom was
no,
like,
not only that. He stopped calling the cell phone, started calling
the house
phone that he was at with the mom's house. So the phone's just ringing off the hook.
And the mom was just like, what's going on here?
A 50-year-old man does not call a 16-year-old boy like this.
40 times.
This is the behaviors like people who are dating.
The part that is so sad and disheartening is that this is all because Dan Schneider made a ton of money for Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
That this behavior was allowed to happen, right? So you talk about teachers or, coaches at a high school or what have you, where there's all this background and all of this stuff done to make sure. That's because those aren't like majorly profitable businesses for other people. Dan Schneider, who had this horrible, some of this stuff kind of seeped into the content as well, which we haven't even really talked about. That within some of these shows, there are some
clips
that are now contextualized.
It's adult content that's made for kids.
Yeah, you could look at it. There's a clip that circulated with Ariana Grande, who on her own has been through enough since Nickelodeon, right? And some of the stuff that Dan Schneider had her doing with, and what's weird, or not weird, but on Twitter and elsewhere, and I'm sort of like a child of watching these shows, right? Like these were all, Drake and Josh is still one of my favorite shows ever. Like I would still say that for years. And for a long time, people have been talking about like, Dan Schneider, did he have like a foot fetish? Because there's weird stuff with that. But what's come out now about what was really going on these sets is just, it's heartbreaking, and at the end of the day, the reason that all of this was allowed to go on is because the people who made money were perfectly okay turning a blind eye.
But this is the part I don't get. Dan Schneider, you're going to hook up your boys. You can't hook up your boys who aren't registered sex offenders? Like that.
But look at his own behavior.
No, but even his own behavior, deplorable. Like the guys that he had on staff were crossing way past the most deplorable things that Dan Schneider was doing. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying, like,
no, you're right.
He had no shame. That's what it is.
Dog,
he thought he could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
That's
disgusting.
Yo,
that's horrible.
Juju, I'm telling you, he would write stuff, and the other writers are like, bro, like, what? And he was like, no, man, but don't tell anybody. That's why we do it.
It's funny, dude. It's funny. And
it's funny. It's funny. Like the inside joke among us is that this is actually a sexual joke. But, like, we don't need to tell them. And the reality is, all those shows, I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, network shows, you have to go through standards and practices, right? There's a department that watches everything and says yes or no, right? It's the reason why, like, Chappelle's show, a lot of those jokes are worded a certain way because he's like, they wouldn't let us say this. Chappelle has a stand-up bit where he's like, they had no problem with us saying the N-word, but I couldn't use these other slurs. Like, why are these other slurs radioactive, but this one's okay? And the reason, and by the way, that's the same company, Viacom. Like, there's people sitting here who are seeing this, who are watching Jamie Lynn Spears get squirted in the face. So obvious a reference that the other young boys on the set, the teenagers, are like, oh, it's a cum shot. And the actresses in the scene were like, didn't know what that meant. Like, it's so obvious. They had Ariana Grande like putting her foot in her mouth. All types of stuff that's just deplorable. And this dude got away with it forever. Watch it. It's on Max right now. Quiet on the Set.
Stugotz here. Field of Greens is the healthiest thing I do every day, and I want you on this journey with me. It's 1 scoop a day. It's easy. It tastes great. I like the original flavor. I love the strawberry lemonade flavor, and it's completely improved my life. This is nutrition the way nature intended. I am telling you, since I started taking Field of Greens, I have way more energy throughout the day, sleeping better throughout the night, feeling better and healthier overall. It's been great. An amazing experience. Field of Greens is radically different. Each organic fruit and vegetable were medically chosen to support heart and vital organ health. I trust Field of Greens to keep me healthy. I promise you're going to love this product, but if for any reason you don't, they'll give you a 100% money-back guarantee. I got you 15% off your first order plus free rush shipping. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code DLS. That's promo code DLS at fieldofgreens.com. That's fieldofgreens.com.
Don Le Batard.
You're getting started on the breakfast flan?
Oh, man. I've been singing a song to myself all morning long. Breakfast flan. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Stugotz.
Have you never heard the breakfast flan song?
No, hit me with it.
Okay. I wish I had some breakfast flan. Breakfast flan. Where can I find a breakfast like that?
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
So, the big fight's coming up. Tyson versus Paul. I still don't know which one. Is it Logan or Jake?
Jake. People do that. I feel like most people know.
I don't know.
Oh, it's Jake.
Jake, okay. All right. I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. I know, because they both they're both doing it, right? That's the problem.
And they look the same.
And they look like, you know what?
They don't look the same.
They don't, they're not twins, but
They look like brothers.
Similar enough where it's like, I can't place the name to the right one. I just feel like, hey Logan, go find some other shtick. Jake is the one that has like the bigger draws, right? Logan, go do something else. Go play hockey.
I think Logan started boxing first, right? Didn't all the KSI stuff happen before Jake got into it? Like, I think
it feels like
Jake kind of followed his brother into it, but is better than his brother. So that's why.
Okay, got it. Okay, well then, guess what? You got rolled. You got rolled, man. It happens to us. Go find some new. But anyways, we got the big fight coming between these two. I'm torn between saying that, look, Mike Tyson, for him to do this, he must be needing the money. And if he needs the money, he must, one might imagine that he'd be all right taking a fall, right? On the other hand, I have to believe that if Mike Tyson snaps, even with knowing like what the deal is, if he does the Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction and just snaps, he will kill this guy. The one hit from Mike Tyson can stop your heart, for sure. And I don't know where to go with this. Is it because he's 50?
You brought up the subject.
No, I'm not talking about like the subject. I don't know where to go with this fight because on the one hand, Mike Tyson is 57 or somewhere in that.
It's a lose-lose for Jake Paul, no?
No.
Like, if you knock out Mike Tyson and he looks really old, everyone's going to be like, you just...
No, it's not a lose-lose for Jake. It's a win-win.
Jake Paul's a big favorite.
It's a win-win for Jake.
So the odds are telling you that this is not going to end well for Mike Tyson.
Guys, it's a win for everybody. This is a win for everybody, including Netflix, including Mike Tyson,
I'm with it.
Jake Paul.
I already ordered it.
There is no way to lose. Even if you lose, hey, I'm 57 years old. Yeah, you're going to beat me. Okay, if Jake Paul loses, hey, it's Mike Tyson. My bad, like the greatest fighter of all time. Like everybody wins. Everybody's making hundreds of millions of dollars. Everybody's happy. That's it.
If Jake Paul, Nate Robinson's Mike Tyson,
come on,
that is not like everyone's going to be like this old man. You just like almost like it's. I just feel like it's not a great look.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Elder abuse.
I'm gonna tell you right now. First of all, he ain't going Nate Robinson, Mike Tyson.
No.
Mike Tyson.
The odds.
Mike Tyson knows what he's doing in a boxing ring. That's like regardless of how old he is, he knows what he's doing in a boxing ring. Nate Robinson did it. Nate Robinson went out there to fight, and
a guy in a different weight class, by the way.
Yeah, that's the other part of it. But more importantly, there is a loser in this, right? There is a loser in this, and it's not Mike Tyson because I believe Mike Tyson, based on everything he said, he's disassociated, like he doesn't care. Like his reputation means nothing to him at this point. It's like he almost like he talks about not wanting to be that guy anymore, right? And then in him talking like that, he says, I kind of miss it or whatever. And I'm like, yeah.
Once he starts hitting those heavy bags, all of a sudden.
That guy starts to come back out. So there is a loser, and that loser is Jake Paul. And I'm not talking about him winning or losing the fight. I'm talking about if Mike snaps and hits him one time really, really hard in the face. Like, you might win the fight. You might got paid $50 million, whatever. But I cannot believe you will walk away with your boyish good looks after Mike Tyson hits you in
He'll be Mickey
The
Rourke after
losers
this.
here are the boxers that have been grinding at this and are like professionals that no one knows and can't sell any fights, so they don't make money. Like those are like the people that have dedicated their life to boxing.
You're saying the sport of boxing is
yeah,
the
like I'm
loser.
saying like the boxers that have been grinding at this for 15 years and never made a lot of money, then that they hate Jake Paul. They just resent him. I'm not saying they hate him,
but that's like anybody who's a guy who's in the G League trying to like make it in the NBA. Like,
yeah, but
there's
Jake
just
Paul,
talent.
Jake Paul, because of his social media following, like skipped the line essentially.
Well, he didn't skip the line because first of all, none of his fights are sanctioned. We start there; they're not sanctioned, any of them. Number two, I think Mike Tyson might be the first actual boxer he's boxing. Everyone he's fought has been.
No,
like,
I think his last couple have been against guys we've
actual
never heard
boxers?
of. Yeah, boxers.
Tommy Fury, yeah, but
even before that, I think his last fight was
The guy
some
from Love Island?
guy who was a boxer.
Some guy.
The guy from Love Island is a great.
He was a tomato can, the last guy, I think.
Tomato can, there it is.
He's a tomato can. But to that point, I mean, like, it's like getting in the water with the great white shark, even if you have a cage, right? You're like, at some point, this shark, again, not what he used to be, but if he just gets one good bite into that cage, I've got an issue.
You know what it is? It's even better. It's Siegfried and Roy.
The tiger went tiger.
Yes, the tiger. He's like a little kitty cat. Oh, he's on his back.
He's so old.
And then at one point, the tiger is just like, I'm a fucking tiger. And
Wait a second.
This is the easiest thing to bet, though, because obviously everyone's rooting for Mike Tyson. He's a huge underdog, so you get.
What are the lines right now?
Right now, I'm
that are
seeing
being floated around?
seeing Jake Paul minus 360. Mike
Courtesy of?
Tyson.
It's actually gone down.
Oh, I better put
It
money
was
on
at
this now.
I'm seeing Mike. Yeah,
DraftKings
DraftKings. I'm
up
seeing
here.
Mike Tyson plus 300. So
It
like
opened at Jake minus 500.
Right, so it's moved to the middle a little bit, but
because they're trying to get people to bet. Like you start with one
Trying to
thing,
get
and
you money.
then as the bets start.
But I would
rolling
feel
in-
like the public would be on Tyson already. So the fact that they're giving this money on him makes you feel like he's not going to win this fight. As much as you guys kind of keep holding out this, he's still Tyson. Like if they thought it was going to be close, he would be favored because isn't the public gonna want to bet with Mike Tyson on this? Like I feel like they would be making his odds lesser.
I just feel like I don't know, man. I watched Mike workout videos and stuff, and I'm like,
Those 30-second little isolated clips, yeah, but he
that's
probably
all,
gets
that's all you
gassed.
need. That's all you need.
Okay,
though.
no.
Hit back.
Okay, also can take hit a lot better than human being.
When he was 30.
I'm not talking about the videos when he was 30. I'm talking about him, gray hair and a beard, bald head. Like this is how I just exercise on a daily basis.
I was on boxing.
Exactly right.
Hey, I bet you won't say nothing to him about it though.
Yeah, won't.
It's crazy. I can't. Who else out here at that age still inspires fear in human beings? Like we're still scared of Mike Tyson. Like even
Ray
though
Lewis.
Like I wanted, like Michael Jordan. It'd be fun if he was still releasing videos where it's like you see like a
working.
15-second clip of like my man can still play.
Dunking on a
don't see
kid.
that.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Still stunning people.
Vladimir Putin.
Great hockey player. No, what I will say about Tyson is his arc, right? Of his Q rating was so down in the early 2000s. The face tattoo, him not showing up to the fight, all the legal trouble he's been in, and then it almost feels like the turn for Mike Tyson being in the good graces of everybody in pop culture again was The Hangover.
That it was absolutely the Hangover.
It was like, oh wait a second, Mike Tyson gets it
because he had been off the radar for a while at that point.
Legal troubles, the fight, all that stuff.
He had a bunch of stuff, but then like also kind of disappeared. And so I don't know if you guys remember watching it in the theater. I watched it in the theater, and the moment they walk in and like it's like everyone's kind of strewn about, and you hear Phil Collins playing, and then Mike Tyson comes out and punches my man in the face, which again, wow. I was like, there's no way Ed Helms would be alive if he actually hit him. Like Ed Helms, it would have been R.I.P. Ed Helms at that point. To be a guy, an actor in that scene and say, okay, and then Mike Tyson's going to pretend to hit you.
Pretend, right? Pretend,
Dog,
right? Everybody? Pretend?
How do you know he doesn't have like an acid trip in that moment and just like,
That happened Jake Gyllenhaal. In the Roadhouse movie, Conor McGregor actually smacks him.
Oh, for
because
real?
Conor is not an actor. He's not like, I'm going to miss this guy on purpose. I think he punched the shit out of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Dog,
Taylor Swift fans rejoice.
I've told you guys this story before. I'm gonna tell it again. That like I met Mike Tyson like 4 times in my life, and every time was completely different. But one of those times, it was in a bar in Scottsdale, a very like crowded bar. Think like Bottle Blonde here, but like in Scottsdale, right?
RIP.
And I'm walking. Is it done? Oh man,
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, walking through the crowd, right, and it's crowded, and I got a drink in my hand, and when it's crowded, people just be bumping into you. And so somebody backed into me, bumped into me. My drink went like this, and it splashed all over the back of somebody. And somebody turned around, and it was Mike Tyson. And all of a sudden, this crowded-ass bar, everybody was gone. It was just nothing but space and opportunity, so to speak. And I'm staring at him, and he's short. I don't know if people realize this. Mike Tyson isn't tall. He's like 5'9", maybe. So he's short, and I'm looking down at him, and he's looking at me, and them eyes are like burning holes. And this was his tattoo. His face tattoo was still fresh, like it was still new. The black light was hitting off of it, and it was glowing in the dark. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to die right now. And so my mind is just racing. What can I say? What can I do to like diffuse the situation? And something in my head said, Amin, I read somewhere that Mike Tyson is a Muslim. So I said, oh.
Like Greenie?
Assalamu alaikum. Like green. I said, Salam alaikum, brother. And I had my hand out like.
And with the big dog?
I was like, huh? And he dapped me up and then pulled me close fast. Like, and I was like, ah! Like literally, I'm pretty sure my body was like this. Body forward.
It was the Jeremy?
Limbs back.
Me falling back when Billy tackled me.
And I like zoomed into him and he held me close and his mouth got right by my ear, and he said, "Alaikum salam, brother." But it was so close that I thought he was gonna bite my ear. So my response was, "Ah!" I just kind of jumped away, and then he released, and then I just scurried off into the night. And I bring it up because now Mike Tyson, who's in the edible game, in the THC gummies, has come out with Mike Tyson's Mike Bites. And they're shaped like ears.
Wow.
Looks like they taste good.
They look delicious. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Just send some to the studio.
What is that? Snozberries?
Tyson Mike Bites. I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable, dog. I see
the flavor is black eye berry.
Black eye berry?
You get it?
I feel like if I took that, he'd come out the door and whoop my ass. Just like, okay, I'll give it a try. Next thing you know, it's a black eye berry. What you think this was? He's gonna kill this kid. I'm putting my name on it. He's going to no.
Everyone in your age bracket thinks that.
He's going to
absolutely.
Like
Dan the other day went on he was just like, he doesn't have a chance. I don't care how old.
Chris, I'm gonna say it like this. It's 2 possibilities. 1, he murders him. 2,
he wins on the card.
He takes a dive.
Dude, but
he takes a dive.
I mean, what we've learned, if anything, recently is money talks. Okay, I feel like he's a huge underdog.
Can Jake Paul legitimately win? Not taking a dive. Can he legitimately win?
Yeah.
Juju.
I don't think so.
Me
I
either.
think it's gonna be a body shot from this world.
Chris.
I think he can. He's old.
Roy.
Tyson's winning.
There you have it.
What about me?
Dan Le Batard.
I mean, they used to call me Chris Karaoke.
Stugotz.
That back row is bringing it today.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Strangely enough, going off that conversation, I've had in my notes for several months because of a conversation that was happening about the time Mike Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear.
You made this top 5 then?
Yeah. Top 5 losing your ear moments in world history.
Okay.
So we have a top 5 if we want to do it.
I want to know when you wrote this. I'm confused.
Probably.
You made it seem like you just wrote it after Tyson bit.
No.
Holyfield's
This
ear
was
off.
written. No. This was written. We were having a conversation on the show probably 3 or 4 months ago about the Tyson biting off Evander Holyfield's ear.
I like it better if you did it when you were 6.
Yeah, it's like one day I'll be on the show.
One day I'll have use for this. They're not good, but do you want to hear them?
Do we have the fanfare ready?
Yep.
Okay. Here we
Okay.
go.
So number 5, the War of Jennifer's Ear.
War
lore from like the 1700s.
I'm gonna
Little
need
girl lost her ear.
Some exposition.
Yeah, that was it. And they had a war over it.
They started a war over
over a little girl losing her ear. Yeah. Number 4, when Mark Anthony said, "Lend me your ear."
No, not Mark Anthony, the singer.
Nope. Mark Antony.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Number 3, Fred Weasley in Harry Potter. Wow, that's iconic. If you didn't shed a tear,
A fictional.
if you didn't shed a tear when
what's
you
this
saw
list
Fred
about?
Weasley,
Gonna
lose
need
your
you to
ear.
bring this list home.
I wasn't paying attention. What's
Number
this list
2,
about?
Van Gogh. Wow,
a
that man
reference
cut
I
off
get.
his ear. By the way, Van Gogh,
Okay.
incredible.
And number 1?
Number 1, Evander Holyfield.
Huge omission.
Whoa.
Great list, right? Really good
Mick
list.
Foley
I would like
is
to
not
see-
on.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, Mick Foley's not on this list. He lost an ear during a wrestling match. Come on, man.
Who's Mick Foley?
I would also
Jesus
like to
Christ.
submit a brother named Max Griffin out of the UFC. He sent a punch to this brother's ear, and it almost came the hell off. That was a national.
Also, Peter in the Garden of Gethsemane cut off the soldier's
Ooh,
ear.
that is a
Jesus
good
put it
one.
back on.
There you go.
So,
Also,
I'm Jewish.
Van Gogh to the penalty box.
Oh wow.
Get out of here.
Golden sombrero.
pun to send me to the penalty box.
wrote-
That's my shit.
This months ago, you had months to tinker and streamline it, make it better. And
You're not even my real Dan.
Golden sombrero.
Why does cauliflower ear happen?
buildup of blood in the ear that doesn't have anywhere to go because it's so high up on like the body that the
Is there
blood
like a
can't
progression
circulate.
to it, or do you just wake up one day and it's fully there?
No, there's a progression to it. You can see guys in the UFC, you can see guys in boxing and wrestling or whatever that have the formation of it. But then there's guys like Dustin Poirier. If you look at Dustin Poirier's ears are basically almost closed.
It's a constant rubbing of the ear on the mat, right?
Yeah, that
on the ground.
punches.
Wow, really?
And the other head of the guy. That's why they wear those headphone type of situations in high school.
I thought it was because people was hitting them on
No,
their ear.
it's rubbing on the mat. It's
how about that?
Grid of death punishment. You have to rub your ear on a mat until you get cauliflower ear.
Steve-O tried to give himself cauliflower ear.
Look at that.
If you look at Dustin Poirier's ear, it's basically almost closed. But let's see if we
That
can
has
find
to
a
hurt,
video.
right? Does that feel good?
No, it has to be
No.
numb, right? You don't have any feeling at that point.
Yeah, it's cartilage, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the ears.
And
made
is
of,
that
is
something
blood and
that
cartilage?
it will just go back?
You can't even
No.
drink.
Like, is that forever?
Yeah. You think if Dustin Poirier, with all the money that he's made in the UFC, would have reversed that?
To me, that
he
looks
could've
like
done it.
swelling. That if you don't wrestle for 6 months, it might start to look better. So it's just
Nah.
going to look like that forever.
So no drainage on
Are
that.
there ear jobs? Like,
Ear
can you get an
jobs.
ear job?
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
buddy. Yeah. I feel like LeBron would have found the cure to being bald or balding.
So I know
Jeff
what happened.
Bezos,
I
another guy.
know what happened to LeBron. LeBron did the procedure before they got good. If LeBron had waited a little bit longer, but then he would have had to look a lot crazier a lot sooner. But if he had waited till Turkey came around, LeBron would have like.
Right. It's like the BBL. It's like the iPhone 1 BBL.
Absolutely.
Right? Some men and women was getting cement put in them.
Absolutely, with they had caulk.
Hey,
All my sisters all around the world.
I'm just saying that's what was happening back there. But yeah, man, like it's just one of those things where like your need for the technology was a little too fast for the technology. If they wait just a little bit longer, it would have been fine.
You have my boy looking crazy out here. Is that what you wanted? LeBron looking crazy?
I mean, he tried cutting it low that one summer. You guys remember? And he took the picture, and then everybody roasted him, and then he was like,
He
"Nah."
was doing a rap video. He was rapping the guy from Detroit.
What, Eminem?
It was T Grizzly.
Oh, it's T Grizzly.
Eminem.
First day out, T Grizzly.
It was a good jazz, I guess. You know. So, guys, I got a question for you.
What's that? I mean,
I'm in the elevator the other day, and a couple of people get on the elevator with me, and we're going down.
Is this one of these modern day elevators? I don't like elevators.
It's an elevator
nowadays.
right here in the Elser.
The ones where I like to get in an elevator and push the button.
No, I like programming it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I want to know, where's everybody going? Like, don't put them in here with me if they're going all the way here and I'm going there.
But we've lost the art and the communal thing of what floor are you going to?
No, I don't want to
got
talk
you.
to them.
Don't
What
care.
number?
Don't
7?
care.
And I also don't want people to rush in like, wait, hold the elevator. This eliminates that. You don't hold the elevator because
The other thing too is you don't have people going, what floor? Oh, 7. Oh no, my bad, it's 10 actually. And then you have 14 people stopping. No, not happening.
floor wrong on that.
People get the floor wrong every single day.
Roy, listen to this, right? So I'm here in the Elser, the fabulous Elser Hotel in downtown Miami, right? I'm in the elevator. 2 people come up. I'm coming down here. I know they're going to the lobby because it says L, right? The elevator stops at like 17. They proceed to almost walk out and like, oh no, this isn't the lobby, and they come back out. The elevator stops at the pool level. They proceed to leave and walk out. And,
so they have no sense.
And then the elevator.
They're buried in the
Don't
phone.
say the next level.
And
Don't say the next level.
I know the next level is the level where we're at. And you thought I was going to say the level.
I got your back.
6th floor. No. And I walk out, and they start walking out with me, and I'm like, look at that. It's got a screen. It's a beautiful digital screen. It says what floor we're on. One time, I get it. Sometimes you make a mistake. You're not paying attention. You walk out like, oh, snap, this isn't the lobby.
Were they in the middle of something? Were they on the phone? Like,
they were
they distracted?
Together.
The phone
They're
don't work on the
friends.
elevator.
They're talking.
They're talking to each other, but like after the first time you walk off the wrong floor,
you gotta be scarred from it. You need to be like, next time I move, I'm making sure it's the right floor.
I went ballistic, not to them, after I let the doors close. And I literally, I swear to God, from the moment I walked out the elevator all the way till I got to our front door.
Stared them down?
No, because they're in the elevator.
Oh. I would have stared as the door's closing. I'm walking around like.
Turn around.
I talked to myself out loud. The whole
you did this segment. You were just like,
that's why it's on the sheet, right? Like I literally said, "Well, I mean, do you not look? It's right there. Do you not open your eyes? Is there no part of you, like I said, that's scarred from the last couple of times? Just think. Just take a second. Burn a single calorie. Look up. Is this my floor? No. Just follow along like a stupid lemming. We're all going this way."
I love the idea of hearing somebody or watching somebody overhear you have this conversation with yourself out of context.
There's one of these people charging their cars.
What's your guys' favorite elevator banter? Like mine is when I'm in a crowded elevator where there's like 7 or 8 floors hit on the thing. I'm like, what are we taking, the local? No? Loser game show?
Get out of here.
What do you guys say in elevators? What's your banter?
Wait, hold on.
I don't talk on the elevator.
I look at my phone.
You guys don't have I love good little elevator banter.
I always tell them before I get out the elevator, I be like, have a nice day.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's money. That's
all right,
great
everybody, see
banter.
you.
That's great elevator banter.
I treat my elevators like I treat my Ubers. You don't talk to me, I won't talk to you. We all good.
I like a little head nod. Sometimes you don't have to say anything, but just a little acknowledgement.
For
what? For who?
Just because you're two humans in a place for the next 20 seconds. Why does it have to be weird where there's no communication?
I'll tell you what's weird. I got stuck in an elevator once. I had to do oddball.
You did oddball. I remember
did
that,
oddball from the elevator. That was weird because it was packed. It was stuffy. And
Are you like, all right, folks, so I do a show.
No. At first, I was just communicating via sign language because they had me on like FaceTime or whatever. So I'm just like, so they asked me questions. I'm like, and then after a while, I would just like whisper answers slowly but surely. And then after a while, I just started talking. It's awful. Being in an elevator with people is awful.
I feel like that's an overstatement.
No, it is awful.
Like I feel like they're.
It's bad.
Oh,
you mean
man.
being stuck?
It's bad.
Chris, there's nothing I love more in the world than walking in an elevator. No, this is my elevator. Ain't nobody in here.
I do. I mean, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here
Yes, you
because
are.
there is something about a nice. I like being alone sometimes, and it depends on my vibe for the day.
Hey,
but every once in a while,
dogs on the elevator. Like if you bring your dog on the elevator and he licked these $250 mother truckers on my feet, bruh, how can I not be mad at you or the dog? He's a good boy, but can you please get your dog off me? I don't like dogs.
Juju, I don't. You know, I famously am not too fond of dogs, but I'm gonna say this: depends on the owner.
Oh, you shooting a shot there?
I'm a little flexible there. I'm like, oh, what's his name? Okay, Noodle. Okay.
Noodle.
Hey,
Like, your fine ass owe me $250.
Speaking of elevators,
And a dinner.
the NBA standings are like an elevator.
Oh.
Some teams are going up.
Transition.
Some teams are going down. And fellas, I want to look at the Eastern Conference, and I want to go through these teams, and I want y'all to tell me, is their elevator going up or is it going down? We
New
start
segment.
Milwaukee Bucks. Which way is their elevator going, up or down?
I think their elevator is stuck in the middle of the 14th floor because the 13th floor don't be in buildings no more.
That's right.
You feel me? So, yeah, they stuck.
Especially in New York. New York is really superstitious when it comes to 13. Phoenix, they got 13s everywhere. But, like, New York, they're like, oh, 12 and then 14. All right, speaking of New York, the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson came back last night. Coach Darko of the Raptors said it was like watching a giant out there. Are the Knicks elevator going up or is it going down?
Theirs is going up. Theirs is going up for sure because this is not only the best season they've had in God, who knows how long. But in this season in particular, look, they've been moving up the standings with Cleveland in particular moving down.
Whoa, don't jump ahead, man.
All right, fair.
Everyone's got their own elevator.
Fair.
All right,
what is he doing?
Fair.
I don't know.
All right,
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Cleveland, Tony, is their elevator going up or is it going down?
I think it's going down.
They got a bunch of injuries.
I think it's going down. Donovan Mitchell might be coming back soon, they said, but I don't know. Is when he gets back, is going to be ready to play. Their role players are kind of I think they had their run. They almost peaked too early. They were going up too early. Now it's only but down.
Orlando, is their elevator going up, Juju, or is their elevator going down?
Their elevator is going up. You feel me? They have a lot of young guys on their team, but dare I say, a couple more years together, that camaraderie might prove to be successful.
Indiana, is their elevator going up or it's going down? I'm talking about the season. Y'all trying to make this big picture. I'm talking about right now in their season.
Down.
Their elevator's going down, man.
Way down.
It's falling apart. It's shaky, man. It's like, hey, man, the weight limits. All right, here's the kicker. Miami. Is their elevator going up or is it going down?
Well, it's on the bottom floor.
It's in the
where it could be.
It's in the basement.
Right. So it's got to be going up because it can't go down anymore. All right, you say so. Watch the next several games.
It's one of those where they're
going to win 4 out of 5.
Put this one down for a second. We got to go to another elevator. We can't use this elevator right now.
Out of order in a week.
Out of order.
Out of order, yeah.
Out of order. Last one, Philadelphia. Tough loss last night. Is their elevator going up or down, Juju? We have news that Embiid might be back before the end of the regular season.
Exactly. All the way up.
All the way
Joe,
up.
salute to Remy Ma. I see you, sis.
Everybody's a winner at the JCPenney Mystery Sale. Hurry in store Wednesday through Saturday for a coupon giveaway while they last. You can peel and reveal an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off. Use your coupon to enjoy even bigger savings on Easter apparel and spring fashion. So, how much will you save? JCPenney. Make everybody count. Offers valid on select styles 327 to 330. Exclusions apply. Giveaway in-store only. Must be 18 or older. See store or jcp.com for details.